Hi everyone, I'm Julia here today with your yoga practice for opening up and balancing our heart chakra. So I'm super excited. This is going to be a fantastic class, really for all levels, focusing on opening up and balancing the energies of our heart chakra. So our heart chakra is in the center of our chest and is associated with love, which could be self-love and love of others. It also is related to unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion, understanding. It's also related to group consciousness, a feeling of oneness with all of those around us, a feeling of acceptance, peace, openness, harmony, and contentment in one's life. So all really amazing qualities of a balanced heart chakra. And the function of our heart chakra anchors in the life force from our higher self. And it's also related to blood circulation throughout our bodies. The color associated with our heart chakra is green, and my heart chakra stone. And here's our symbol of our heart chakra. Okay, put this down. Yes, so anything else you missed? Yeah, and it energizes the blood in our body and connects our physical body with life force energy. So we're going to roll out our mats and we're going to start in our tall standing mountain pose. So all we need today is our mats, maybe a glass of water. Let's make our way onto our mats, standing up tall in our mountain pose. And feel free to get a drink of water. Focusing on our tall posture to start, standing up tall in the center of our mats, lifting up through our center, lifting from the crown of our head, rolling our shoulders back, standing up tall with confidence, feeling grounded, rooted through our feet into the earth. Focusing on a beautiful green light surrounding us, vibrant, very colorful. Focusing on self-love through this whole practice. Self-love, accepting ourselves and loving ourselves the way that we are. So we're going to start this class with our chest opener, energy breath. And so we're going to start with our arms out in front of us. So as we inhale, our arms are in front of us. Breathing in together and exhale, expanding through our chest, opening up our arms, opening up through our heart center, maybe looking up to the sky, a slight arch back, never fully letting go of our neck, but just lengthening our neck up, contracting back together, inhaling and exhaling. Maybe choosing to inhale as we expand and exhale as we contract. And let's just continue this together. Inhaling, opening up through our heart, and exhale, bringing our arms back together. Inhaling through our nose, expanding. And exhale through our mouth, meeting our hands back and reaching out in front of us. Inhaling together. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhale. Inhale, opening through our chest. And exhale. Inhaling again, sweeping our arms open, really expanding here. And exhale, contracting. And exhale. And exhale. Great job. And now we're going to continue this flow, but we're going to add in a chair squat. So opening up our arms and then exhale, sitting back into our chair position, sitting back with a flat back, engaging our hamstrings and glutes, and then coming back up expanding, sitting back into our chair position and expanding. On our inhale, exhale, sitting back into a deep chair position and then expanding, really warming up our bodies. An option to add in a balancing chair, lifting up through our heels and back down. So if we can add in the balancing chair, we just lift up our heels at the bottom and expanding, sitting back, lifting our heels, really engaging through our hamstrings and glutes, sitting back low, engaging our quadriceps as well, expanding. Just flowing at our own pace, connecting our movement in with our breath. Wonderful job. Really expanding here. Let's do this a couple more times. Really warming up our whole body, maybe focusing on our core engagement as well. Feeling free just to stay in the normal chair if we're not feeling the balance today. Whatever we'd like to do in this present moment. Great job. Let's do one more. Sitting back into our chair and standing up tall on our mountain, meeting our hands back to heart center. Steadying our breath for a moment here. Standing up tall, our hands at heart center. Maybe setting an intention for this practice. Maybe just to feel gratitude to ourselves for focusing on our health and well-being. Maybe we're focusing on self-love, compassion, and acceptance. Just breathing here. Maybe we're focusing on love and positivity. Okay, wonderful. Let's step towards the front part of our mat. Feeling free to take a little sip of water if we'd like to at this moment. Stepping towards the front part of our mat, inhaling, sweeping our arms up above our head. We're going to move into a sun salutation, maybe choosing to take a slight arch back, opening up through our chest, raising our heart up to the sky, opening up through our arms, we swan dive down, releasing forward, stepping back with our right foot back, our toes tucked under. We're going to lift up our arms, maybe first placing our hands above our knee, and then maybe extending our arms, coming into the warrior one position. We can keep our hands together above our head in the warrior one position, opening up through our chest. Inhale and exhale, lowering our knee to the mat, untucking our toes, finding a lunge here. Placing our hands down on the mat, stepping back, left foot steps back, coming into our child's pose, opening up our knees so that our chest can release further down, or our rib cage can sink further down, relaxing our forehead onto the mat, releasing through the back of our neck here. On our next inhale, rolling up through our spine, meeting together in the hero position. Inhaling, sweeping our arms up, taking a slight arch back, lifting our heart up to the sky, opening through our arms, placing our hands on the mat, tucking under our toes, lifting to our first down dog, feeling free to keep our knees nice and bent here. Just releasing here into the down dog. Maybe pedaling through our feet if this feels good for us. Reaching one heel up at a time, bending through that knee. Reaching both heels down. Bending through our knees, walking our feet to meet our hands at the front of our mat, releasing forward. Bending through our knees and swan diving up. And let's repeat this flow to the left side. Inhaling, sweeping up, opening up our chest up to the sky, shifting our hips forward, taking our slight arch back, opening up through our arms, bending our knees, swan diving down, releasing forward, maybe rocking from side to side, maybe shaking our head, relaxing through our neck, maybe nodding our head. Now let's step back with our left foot steps back. Our heel is up. We're first placing our hands above our knees and then making our way up into the warrior one position. Our palms are together above our head, opening up through our chest, feeling a stretch in that left hip flexor and left quad muscle. Holding here in the warrior one. Then opening up our arms, placing our fingertips in the mat, lowering that knee, coming into our lunge. And then let's step back with our right foot releases back into the child's pose, opening up through our knees and releasing forward into the child's pose. Relaxing our forehead onto the mat. On our next inhale, walking back through our hands, rolling up through our spine, coming into our kneeling hero position. Inhaling, sweeping our arms up to the sky, opening through our chest. Exhale, releasing our arms, placing our hands on the mat, tucking under with our toes, lifting our hips up to the sky, meeting together in our down dog. Bending through our knees and lengthening. Bending again and lengthening. Bending once again, and we can walk our feet to meet our hands at the front of our mat. And bending deeper through our knees, we swan dive back up, meeting our hands above our head and hands to heart center. Feeling free to get a little sip of water here. Then let's repeat the sun salutation one more time. Inhaling, sweeping our arms up. We're going to move a little bit quicker through the sun salutation this round. Exhaling, opening through our arms, releasing forward, stepping our right foot back, coming into the lunge, placing our hands above our knee, lifting up into the warrior one position, releasing our hands down to the mat, lowering down that right knee, untucking our toes, releasing our foot back, sitting back into our child's pose. Shifting our weight forward, tucking under our toes, lifting our hips up to the sky, meeting in our down dog, feeling free to keep our knees bent. Really lifting our hips up to the sky, breathing into the stretch, releasing through our calf muscles and our hamstrings. Bending through our knees, and then walking or hopping our feet to meet our hands at the front of our mat. Releasing forward in the forward fold. Bending deeper through our knees and swan diving up, meeting our hands above our head and hands back to heart center. Wonderful job. Let's repeat this on the left side, standing tall in our mountain pose. Inhaling, we sweep up our arms, meeting our palms above our head, opening up our chest up to the sky, opening up our arms. We swan dive down, bending through our knees, releasing into our forward fold. Placing our hands in the mat, stepping our left foot back into our lunge, placing our hands above our knee, and then reaching our arms up to the sky in our warrior one position, opening through our chest. On our next exhale, placing our hands on the mat, lowering the left knee, untucking the toes and sitting back, stepping our leg back and sitting back into the child's pose. Really releasing through our shoulders, releasing our back here, just relaxing. Shifting back forward into the all fours, tucking under with our toes, lifting our hips up to the sky. Bending through our knees and lengthening. Bending again and lengthening. Now let's walk our feet to meet our hands at the front of our mat. Inhaling, bending through the knees, sweeping up. And exhale, hands come back to heart center. Wonderful job with that sun salutation. Breathing in and exhale. Inhale, sweeping our arms up. Exhale, opening through our arms, bending through our knees, making our way to our forward fold. And then let's just step out our knees, coming into our all fours position. We're going to sit back on our heels, and we're going to come next into our camel position. We can definitely modify this position. So we have a few different options depending on what we are comfortable with, but this is a perfect way to continue to work on that feeling of expanding through our chest, opening through our heart center. So our first option, we can come up onto our knees, and if our knees are ever bothering us, we can definitely loop up our mat, creating more of a cushion underneath our knees. We can also just stay here, and we can expand through our chest. So our first option is just meeting our palms together or making fists for wrists, placing our hands behind us and opening up through our chest. This is our first option for a camel position. Our next option is to come up onto our knees, tucking under our toes and then reaching towards our heels, placing our hands on our heels, opening up through our chest. We can also untuck our toes and we can continue into this version of the camel. We also can just place our hands behind our back and just open up through our chest. So let's first pick whichever option feels best for us today. We can also all just start with doing this option. And so we'll try the camel 2 times. So this will be our first time trying our camel position, really opening up through our chest, coming into whatever version of the camel feels good for us. And then slowly coming up, maybe placing our hands on our back, coming back up slowly, untucking our toes, sitting back onto our heels, and then just releasing forward, releasing down into our child's pose. And if the camel's not feeling good for us today, feeling free to just stay in our child's pose, releasing through our back. Walking our hands back on our next inhale, back to our hero position. And then trying our camel pose again, maybe switching up, trying a different version of the camel, whatever feels good for us, maybe tucking under our toes and opening up through our chest. We also can just keep our hands behind our back, opening through the chest, or we can stay down on our knees, opening up. Whichever version we'd like to try. And then placing our hands on our back, slowly coming back up out of the camel position, untucking our toes, sitting back on our hips, and releasing our arms forward into our child's pose. Just releasing here, maybe stacking our hands underneath our forehead, and fully just letting go. Relaxing through our back, letting go of our neck. And sitting up on our next inhale, back to the hero position. Let's swivel our legs around. Now we're coming into a hip stretch, which would be our seated spinal twist. So first we're going to cross let's start with our right leg. So our left leg is down, leg is out in front of us. We're going to cross our right foot over top of the left knee. And we're sitting up nice and tall, and we should start to feel a stretch opening up in our hip, this side as well as this side. We can start by just hugging our knee into our chest. We could definitely hold this position here, a wonderful way to open up through our hip. We can also take our left hand, so opposite arm is leg, and we can cross it over our body and then place our hand behind our back and focus on opening up through our chest, really bringing out our spine. Just opening up here. Releasing through our hip, really breathing into the stretch. And then just hugging our knee into our chest. And then let's switch legs. Now we're crossing over with our left leg is crossing over. We'll start by hugging this knee into our chest. Then we're going to cross right arm over left leg and placing our other arm behind our back. Our hands meet the mat or the ground, and then opening up through our chest, opening up here. In our seated spinal twist, really ringing out through our spine. Sitting up nice and tall here. Wonderful job. And let's extend both of our legs out in front of us, feeling free to get a drink of water. And then let's just place our hands underneath our shoulders. And let's just rock our knees from side to side. Letting go. We can also lay fully down, just rocking our knees from side to side, massaging through our hips, and just letting go. Placing our hands underneath our knees, rocking up, coming back into our seated position. Let's extend our legs out in front of us and just shake our legs from side to side. Shake, 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 just releasing our legs. We can come into our staff stretch, our final stretch today, sitting up nice and tall, our legs extended out in front of us, leaning forward with our flat back, finding a gentle stretch here. Breathing into the stretch, and we can round forward if we'd like to. We can also just stay sitting up tall. Great job. Let's come up into our seated position. And I'm going to be walking us through a guided gratitude meditation. So feel free to select if you'd like to sit up nice and tall, sitting up in our seated cross-legged position for this guided gratitude meditation. Also, if we'd like to, we can come into our Shavasana, our final relaxation pose. We can place our hand on our belly and one hand on our heart, feeling free to stay here, or we can also extend our legs. So whatever we would like to do. I'm going to sit up nice and tall for this meditation, but feel free to choose the position that feels good for you. You can also sit up tall, sitting in a chair with your feet planted on the ground. So starting in our comfortable, easy position, whatever position we would like to be in. If we're sitting up tall, our hands can be in our lap and can be facing up to the sky as if we're holding something special to us, maybe a kitten or a bird, a pet, something special to us. We're holding that with love and gratitude. We can also have our hand on our heart and one hand on our belly and just focus on something that gives us a lot of happiness in our life, something that makes us feel the sense of love. Taking a moment to find something that we're grateful for. This could be something simple or something more grand. Fully relaxing in whatever position we're in, closing our eyes here, and just breathing. The thing that we're grateful for can be a feeling, a being, maybe our family, a circle of friends, an achievement or success, anything that we're feeling truly grateful for. Now imagine that you're holding the object of gratitude in your hands. If it's a group of people, just imagine that you're holding the sensation of love in your hands. Holding it there just for a minute, noticing how this makes you feel. Noticing what feelings may be coming up for you. Maybe it's safety, happiness, security, maybe unconditional love, connectedness, awareness, acceptance. Take some time just to allow you to feel this sense of gratitude, feeling grateful. What does this sensation feel like in your body? Now imagine this object of gratitude is taken from you. How do you feel? Now imagine that it is returned to you in your hands like it never left. You feel that sense of love in your heart. Enjoy your feeling of gratitude. Gratitude helps us to feel compassion in our lives. This exercise will activate feelings of compassion for others, love of ourselves, and love for the things that we feel truly grateful for. Taking a moment here just to focus on our breath, focusing on the sensation of gratitude and love. Maybe focusing on a brilliant green light opening up through our heart chakra, breathing in positive energy filled with love, a radiant green light coming from the center of our chest. And exhaling anything that we'd like to let go of. Just closing our eyes and fully relaxing. Letting the feeling of gratitude and love wash over us. Feeling free to stay in this meditation for as long as we would like to. But if we're ready to close out our practice, we can begin to wiggle our fingers and toes. If we're lying down, we can bend our knees, planting our feet on the mat. We can lift one arm above our head, rolling onto our side whenever we are ready. And we can make our way back up into the seated cross-legged position, meeting together here. Inhaling, let's sweep our arms above our head. And exhaling, meeting our hands at our third eye and hands to heart center. Let's breathe. Take one last breath together. Inhaling, sweeping our arms up, breathing in. And exhale, hands meet back at heart center. And together we say, Namaste, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for this practice, focusing on our heart chakra, cultivating a feeling of love and gratitude. I hope that you're feeling amazing after this practice. And I'm so grateful that you're here. And please be sure to thank yourselves for showing up today, focusing on your health and well being. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.